I'm here tonight experiencing the illuminating display at Minster, which happens prior to Christmas every year. I'm a bit bewildered by this year's choice. It's supposed to be shadows and flights of fancy representing the hope of the people. Reminds me of silverfish. But anyway, it does create a certain spooky feeling to York Minster. And of course, many people will come to York expecting there to be ghost stories about the Minster. And the most famous one that I know concerns a brother and sister. Now, they made a very sinister pact as children. They lived in about the 19th century, and that was a time when people were really getting in touch with the idea of mediumship and seances and the idea of life after death. And these two children had become fascinated by this subject. So they agreed down in the garden one day that they would make a pact that whichever one of them died first would appear to the other as a ghost to prove that there was a world beyond. Now, many years later, when the girl was all grown up, she visited the Minster with a touring party. And as she was walking through the building, she suddenly stopped and she saw a figure standing there wearing a naval uniform. He looked at her and he said, "There is a future state." And what chilled the lady to the bone was that she was looking at the image of her brother. And he couldn't possibly be a real living image because he was hundreds of miles away at sea. The figure disappeared and the lady was left in an absolute state of shock. It was that day she learned that her brother, the naval officer, had indeed been killed while at sea.